decorating with Barbara.
Hello everyone, today I want to share how I created a classic, elegant look for my home on a budget. So I'm sure you guys have heard all of the talk about restoration hardware all over YouTube. And I believe it's so popular because of its clean lines and uncluttered decor. I do love restoration hardware, but I think it can be a little void of personality sometimes. So for my home, I like to take a few of their ideas and implement them into my home, but with some of my own design style. Now, if you have been into restoration hardware or have flipped through some of their magazines, then you know that they have a very classic design style. And farmhouse, no matter how bad of a rap it gets, is one of their design styles. But when they do farmhouse, it is done in a very classic and minimal way. So you will also see a little bit of French country, modern and contemporary design, as well as their classic traditional designs. I like to take a little bit of all of those design styles and incorporate them throughout my home. So I took a few of those simple key elements that they use in their design, and I used those items throughout my home. So I'm using very simple decor pieces like pottery, books, architectural items, beads, simple framed artwork. And in this case, I just took some wallpaper that I had around the home and framed it in a soft gold frame. And so this lamp was a piece that I thrifted from Goodwill many years ago, and it has a warm silver metallic finish. And because I like to use a little rustic decor with my metallics, I paired it with a clay urn topped with a little bit of moss. And the urn came from Goodwill as well. And so next, I noticed that they use a lot of books and architectural pieces in their design. So whenever I'm at Goodwill, I always look for these type of items. You always seem to, or at least I do, I always seem to spot these at Goodwill. And so this was a piece that I got from Goodwill. And then the books were books that I had on hand that I just gave a coat of ivory paint. And then these beads, this is a necklace that I picked up from Savers. And I thought that just added a nice touch with a little bit of texture on top of the books. And then the vase up top, that was a vase that I purchased from Goodwill. I don't remember the color. Oh, I think it was white and gray on the bottom. And so I just did a little wash technique on it. I did the dirt wash technique as well as some other colors to achieve this aged pottery look. And then the books over here, the same thing. I just painted the books out in a light color. And then for this book, I did want a little bit of texture. So I took the spine, I took the backing off. And many of these items I purchased thrifting or from one of our favorite discount stores. On top of the bookcase, I added 2 pots. And when you're in restoration hardware, sometimes you will see they will have 2 separate curios, and they will place some type of an urn or pot on top. Well, mine are not separate, but I still took that concept and I added two planters that came from the nursery on top. I did have to paint them white because I wanted the overall bookcase to have light decor in it because the bookcase is so dark. Now, as far as the planters, now my husband used to work at a garden nursery several years ago, and they were throwing these planters out, and so I was able to get my hands on about 6 of them, varying sizes. And so I am so happy to put these to use because before they were just sitting in my backyard, and I just brought them in, cleaned them up, and gave them a good coat of ivory paint. As you can see, the space is pretty much neutral, but I did bring in some warmer gold, warm silvers, as well as warm woods to bring in that warm feel to the space. Now on the end bookcases, I do have one item per shelf, and I did that because I wanted to keep the focus on the center, and I just wanted to keep the ends very simple, which is something that you will see in Restoration Hardware, which gives that classic uncluttered look. Now another thing you will notice about Restoration Hardware is their artwork is very simple. And you guys know that I like to save on my artwork as well, and so I picked up this canvas from Goodwill. I whitewashed the original painting and then painted my own design. I have made this painting over several times, but that's the beauty of doing your own painting, is that you can change it whenever you like. And I also did this one as well. So here on the tray, I am just adding a few things with a little different texture, but definitely a little bit of shine. And guys, your accessories don't have to be all one color like mine or light colored like mine. I just like keeping mine this way because it helps to keep the bookcase uniform, and putting lighter colors in the dark bookcase makes them show up better. Their lamps are typically very clean line, not so fussy, and they are known for their moss and succulent arrangements. Now this arrangement here I used in a very natural moss, but you will find more of a green moss in their store. And once again, this is where you bring in your own personal taste. If you're not a fan of the green moss, then don't use it. Use something else, and you don't have to use this. Succulents are really popular and they make a statement as well. Or you can just visit the dried flower aisle in Hobby Lobby and see what speaks to you. Since we are still in the winter months, I thought it was appropriate to add this really fuzzy fur throw. And I wanted to add these textured pillows to the smooth metallic leather chair. And if anyone wants to know, because I do get this question a lot, these chairs were originally black and I did spray paint them. Yes, I said spray paint. I used a silver spray paint by Krylon. So I think keeping the space neutral and the colors very similar in tone helps to give that more elegant look to a space. Now you can definitely have an elegant space with color, don't get me wrong. And so in the next couple of days, I think I want to take the space and just show you how I would add color to the space, keeping it nice, clean, and uncluttered. Now guys, no matter what your style is, whether it's farmhouse or glam, decorate your home in the style that most reflects you. Not my style, and definitely not a store. Now it's okay to be inspired by a store, but don't forget to bring in your own personal touch. Also, before I go, I wanted to mention to you that the wall color is Revere Pewter. I get that question asked a lot, and it's Revere Pewter by Benjamin Moore. So I want to thank you all for watching and have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.